What's up, y'all? How you doing? This is your boy Gerald. It is the 27th of December 2014. How is each and every one of you? Hope you're doing well. It's the weekend and I'm about to start my day. I hope your Christmas was blessed and that all that you desired was made a reality. I hope that that day was very, very special because you deserve it. Because you know me. There's only one you, and you deserve to be at peace. But I also know we don't live in a perfect world too, and I realize that unfortunately some of y'all woke up and your Christmas was unfortunately a disappointment. Some of y'all received divorce papers. Some of y'all relationships ended. Some things were made, were revealed. Some things came to the surface that you didn't know that existed, but you felt a certain way inside your spirit, and it came to pass, and you are not feeling well. You're hurt. Just know this. There is a blessing in everything, and this is an opportunity that you get to reset your life. And guess what? I really believe that this is what is going to be the theme for next year. That's right. And that is why I'm putting this out, because I told you I was. And I feel compelled to put this message out. I believe 2015 will be the year of accountability. That's right. Because I think that this year, 2014, as we step into 2015, you've seen a lot of things that made you scratch your head, made you really look at how you think and the people that you associate yourself with. And some stuff was validated and some stuff brought a lot of discomfort. And you're in a position now that you don't want that anymore. You want the real deal. So I really believe next year is about accountability. But haven't you noticed that, let's say, if I'm correct, and I could be wrong, I think it was like May, you started to see the theme of hatred slowly but surely come from under the rock, the underbelly of life, and slowly but surely get footing. It's like, but here's the thing. I believe that next year that's not going to be the case. I really believe that I really believe 2015 is going to be that year where everyone will ground their feet and they'll speak the truth and make a conscious decision on where they want to take their life. The direction they want to go into. And I really believe that there are going to be some divisions in the sand, figuratively. There are going to be associations that have run their course. And it's not that you don't want to walk with these people. It's that you know that deep down in your heart, you can't lie to yourself. You can't. And you realize that you don't want to run anymore. You just want to feel free. You want that peace of mind. You know it's there because you think about it all the time. And for maybe, let's look at the last 5 years, you've been trying to connect the dots to make them work, but they always fall apart because they were never meant for it to happen anyway. So now we're starting to come full circle. A lot of things that were left undone are going to be concluded. Have courage. Have courage, because only you can live your life. Only you can see what you see and experience what you experience. So have courage. So whenever it manifests, how it manifests, just make sure it's authentic. Make sure it's not a position because you got to settle for what is given. You define what is received because it's your life. I think it's it's really sad that we've gotten, it is 2014, y'all, right? We're knocking on the door of 2015, and hatred still exists. Isn't it amazing how we're so advanced with technology, but yet we're so still ignorant? You know why? It's because we refuse to be honest how we feel and how we act. And that's because we gravitate to what is found in our hearts. So if your heart is full of shallowness, if your whole foundation is fake, how you going to find safety in that? Think about it that way. If there's no love in it, how can it grow? When the question should be asked, why are you there to begin with? I think that needed to go out to somebody. Because I know there's somebody right now feeling like you are the only person on this planet. You are alone. You feel that you're unlovable. And I keep trying to tell you, you only feel that way because the mindset that you had, and you realize that it don't work. So now it's time for you to roll your sleeves up. Now it's time to go look inside yourself for the first time. You know, it's time for you to face your fears. You know how it is. Finally, everything's a reality. Now's that time. You know, it's like, how can you call yourself an adult when you're not free? There's no peace within yourself. If you don't know what that feels like, guess what? You still got to continue to grow. You still got some work. And trust and believe when I say this, you will continue to learn about yourself until the day you take your last breath. Because we're spiritual beings in a physical form. So if your spirit ain't right, your life ain't going to be right. It doesn't matter who's in your audience, because all they're going to do is validate what's found in your heart. So if you're putting on a show, well, guess what? You're going to get fake accolations. They just, come on now. And I don't make light of that because I used to be there too. It's like, you sit down and you're like, well, why do I associate myself with these people when sometimes they're so bold with it, they don't care about you. But yet, you try to find loyalty in association. Come on now. You're cheating yourself. You're cheating yourself. You are cheating yourself. You are cheating your experience on this planet. So what you going to do? You going to continue to run with them people knowing damn well that ain't nothing good going to come out of that. You already know that. You probably had some scrapes along the way that have made you think, like, oh man, if I had done that, my life could have been altered. Well, how many signs do you need to turn the other way? That ain't the company you're supposed to keep. Let's spin it. Some of you how can I say this sensitively? Some of you have been rebelling for a long time. But deep down inside, you don't understand why people don't get you. It seems like you've got to repeat yourself 2 and 3 times to convey how you feel. And that might be from a position of sincerity. And you're getting tired of beating yourself upside the head because you want to belong. Well, you'll be able to understand that when you claim your heart. It's all here. It's all directed up here. And that's what brings me back to the initial point. I really believe 2015 there's going to be profound change. I believe that a lot of people are going to sever ties. They're going to take accountability for their lives, and they're going to make a conscious choice that whatever the strongholds that they had, the fears that they had, you're going to make a conscious decision to work through them. Because you see the value of your life. Some of y'all are doing this because of the fact you ain't got no other choice. Because you realize that the path that you were on almost took your life. You probably in the back of your mind like, what if I go through this again? I might not be so lucky. Don't you see the blessing in that? You see that, right? So you already got the knowledge of that experience. So, what are you going to do with that? Are you going to continue to do the same thing and let it be your demise? Or are you going to do something different and grow? Come on. Think about it. You deserve to have the life intended. I can't stress that. But, as you already know, you got some people to think that you're like this, or you're that little bird in that cage and they don't want you to do nothing but play your role, and you're starting to feel the pressure of that, and all you want to do is feel free. And I believe that some of you are going to stand up, take accountability of your life, and claim it. And for those people, I congratulate, because guess what? This is a long time overdue. And it may be from finally having that heart-to-heart with yourself by forming a connection with your higher power. I know Him as my Lord Jesus Christ. Don't you realize all things are through Him? So if you don't have a connection with Him, you don't have a connection with yourself. So you basically are settling for what is done on man's terms. How's that working out? How's that working out? Some of y'all got relationships and associations with people that you know that don't give a damn about you. But because of the fact that of the illusion that they give you, or the illusion that they give off to their environment, everything's okay. But behind closed doors, you suffer. Why? Why? Can't do that. You wasn't put on this. You wasn't given an opportunity to be on this planet to live in bondage, to live in shame, to carry that guilt. So make this moment, because what? We got 10 days before this month's out. Have you sat down and made a conscious decision of the things that you're going to let go or leave in 2014? Have you even thought about it yet? What about the things that you're going to make an aspiration to claim next year? Have you done that? Come on now. Here's a beautiful thing I know too. My queens. How you doing, my queens? Love you all. I believe a lot of you are tired of looking in the mirror. And y'all gonna claim your crown. You're gonna take all that stuff that ain't you and to claim you. Some of you are gonna decide to invest in yourself. You might take a holistic route. Some of you may just humble yourself and get to know Him. That's good. Because when you make that conscious decision to do that, what's going to happen is two things, and I've been echoing this the whole year. See, the people that love you want nothing but the best for you. And they're not going to stand in your way because they already see who you are within. They can see who you are before you can. Especially if he's a spiritual man. If that's where you are in your life. But a spiritual person will always be able to tap in and see the greater good in everyone. But it's the person's responsibility to bring forth that out. Do you understand that, right? Because we all have free will. I can't make you do anything you don't want to do. That's why it's an action. But before it's an action, it must be an affirmation first. Therefore, you must put some thought in to what you're going to do, good or bad, and be prepared for what comes with it. You know, I'm not making light of that, but do you actually think you were put on this earth to spend your days crying? So yeah, I'm talking to you. To stress yourself out. Your hair is falling out. Your weight is fluctuating. You're dealing with your fear or paranoia because you're taking pills to keep your mind state a certain way because you can't cope. It's time for you to break those shackles. And I know you can do it, but there's a price to it. I know somebody's saying, well, what do you mean, Gerald? What's the price? I don't want to pay for no price. I done paid all this year. I done paid for who I am all these years. I just want to be at peace. Well, the price is those associations that you've been running with. Yeah, you got to be courageous to speak your truth. Some of y'all been walking around with secrets and burdens and pain that you should not have never done. So I really believe next year is going to be the year that you're going to lift each and every one of them. You're going to have the courage to look at those things, because those are the things that are actually holding you back from you. So I really believe each and every one of you are going to get back to yourself. But let's be real. There are going to be some people that are going to let their environment bring them right back in because you haven't learned your lesson. And the lesson is to love yourself. And I realize that some of y'all actually asked Santa Claus to bring you that woman, bring you that man that will love you unconditionally, that will help you grow, that will validate your heart. And you've been waiting for this for oh so long. And you're tired. You're tired of receiving the resumes or the auditions of many people that have come in, that have stood in front of you and said, yeah, I love you. I'll be with you forever, only to wake up and realize they're gone like a thief in the night. Now is the time that you're going to have the courage to take accountability for where you've been, where you are, and claim where you're going. Now, let's go to that price. That price is you're going to have to let them go. You're going to have to look within yourself and say, well, you know what? The most prized possession that you ever have is your life, is your time. And you're going to look at every person, every lover. Let's keep it 100, because some of y'all have been juggling for a long time. Some of y'all actually have the audacity, my queens, my kings, because that's where they learned it from. They learned it from us. And you're saying, well, you know what, Gerald, I can't find the perfect man, so I'm going to build one. I'm going to have that one guy that likes to spend his money. I'm going to have that one guy that all he does is talk on the phone when I want to just be entertained. I'm going to have that one guy that's good with my family and he acts right. And then you got that one that all he does is, yeah, you know him. And you think, well, you know what, I don't have enough time to be with all these people, but if I could just have one that possessed them all, I would be at peace. But guess what? You'll come to realize that these snapshots of these people that are entertaining you, these are all aspects of what is found in your heart. Those are things that these people are manifested from the vibration you gave off. And some of you have been on that emotional merry-go-round where you get the same caliber of person, but the only thing changes is the body. They do the same thing the last one did, only to hurt you even more, and you're depressed. You're alone. You know? Come on now. It's time for you to get that heart right. Why is it that, and I'm not making light of it, that's why some of you will not be honest with your emotions. That's why when you're in association with someone, or there's a potential mate, and they say, well, how many partners have you been with? And you get offended that they ask. When in actuality, they're really asking because, you know what? We're talking medical. We're talking health. You know? Well, because of pride and ego, you take it as you're looking at it from a shallow perspective, because you think that, well, if I tell this person that I've been with all these people, they're going to walk away. Well, guess what? If they do walk away, that's a blessing even more, because you don't need them in your life. Because the person that's supposed to be in your life will never judge you. They should help you grow. But if they don't have a spiritual connection or love themselves, then all you're doing is wasting time. All you're doing is keeping that bed warm, but you're keeping that heart empty too. So, haven't you noticed these last, last 5 months? Like I said, let's go back. For us to be a advanced society, you know, we still have the problems and the ailments that were 40, 50 years ago now. The question is why? Why is racism still relevant today? Why is hatred still relevant today? Why is that? I'll tell you why. Because that is an example of a generational curse. In other words, a child does not know how to hate unless it is taught. unless the environment that they're in fosters that. But what is the common denominator in that? Fear. What you afraid of? Huh? Does your ignorance got you like this? You gonna be an emotional slave to somebody else? You gonna allow somebody to dictate how you think, how you feel? Some of y'all are walking around dead now because you're afraid to be in tune with your emotions. Don't you realize you will never know what freedom feels like emotionally until you are in tune with each emotional state? That is why we have so many people suffering from mental illness. That is why any kind of ironic, you don't hear people talk about being bipolar because it's not the it phrase, but it exists. You don't hear people talking about schizophrenia. Why? Because people are afraid of it. They don't want to talk about it. They don't want to talk about sociopathy or sociopathic people or behaviors. But when you turn around and you do the math, like a big umbrella, these are all traits where love does not exist. And you know what happens to those people that don't love? What happens? They're empty. They're voids. And you're looking at a narcissist. That's right. If you don't know what a narcissist is, or the traits of a narcissist, I highly, highly recommend you go up here, put it in there. Because some of you may have been raised in a family that exhibited those traits. But because knowledge is power, you didn't know what you were being shown. And therefore, as I said in the last video, what do? Oh, they just bitter. They just crazy. That's just how they are. Just leave them alone for a little bit. They be alright. Nah. You're looking at a person that is living in turmoil because they're making a conscious decision not to take accountability for their lives. So really, you're watching someone die slow. See, as you start to invest in your life, you will start to see that your mental state connects with your health. So if you're constantly in an environment that only fosters stress, now remember now, emotional, well, guess what? You got a brain. So if your emotions are imbalanced, right? Don't you think after a while that's going to affect the way your body responds to it? Think about it. Why do you think people are walking around with depression? They walk around with depression because they are afraid to speak their truth. They're in a situation, or there's a scenario that is playing out where they feel that they can't speak how they feel. So guess what? Once again, you're a slave. You're a slave to your emotions. You're a slave to your heart. You're not supposed to be on this planet living in fear. I know some of you are saying, well, Gerald, you can say that, but I live, what about my family? My family, there's no positivity in there. I can't wait till I get 18, I can leave this place. You know what? Let me tell you something. And I've come to learn this. I've come to learn this. The moment that you put him first, he's going to protect you. He's going to protect you because you are his child. That's why it said, lean not unto your understanding. You're not supposed to live your life thinking that you in control of it, because you ain't. If you was such in control of your life, why don't you hold your breath? Hold your breath as long as you can. Why don't you convince your heart to start to beat, to stop beating? Because you're not in control of that. So you're not in control of your life. You can dictate what's involved, you know, the effects of it, but you ain't controlling nothing. You're not. You're not. And once you bring that into focus and realize how precious your life is, your life will change. I know there's somebody right now, your life is you feel that your life is destroyed. You're dealing with the fact that you realize that you've been emotionally betrayed. There's been someone that you hold dear has been unfaithful or has not told the truth the whole time, and you realize that the illusion that you had in your mind was exactly that. Some of y'all are realizing that the person that you laying with is laying with someone else, maybe even got a family, and you realize the position that you thought was one was not. Just know this: even breakthroughs have to come from pain. That's why when you cry, some of y'all ain't cried in years, and that's your problem. Don't you realize when you cry, clarity comes after that? Because guess what? That's from your heart. And guess what? He sees that. He knows when you 100. That's why before you think it, he knows. He knows exactly what you're going to do. He knows when you can say, well, Lord, if you just can get me out of this time, I'll promise. And he already knows you're going to, nah. And you go through it anyway. Why? So, 2015 is coming. What you going to do with your life? You're going to constantly you're going to continue to path you on and be the side guy, be the side girl. I keep trying to tell you there's no respect in that. That constantly depletes your self-worth. It's no different than being a utensil in a drawer because you're not claiming your life. I know you're saying, well, Gerald, well, you know, he provides for me and I understand we got an agreement. How much of an agreement do you think you have if you ain't got no ring? So you're not living your life. You're living your life by their standards. Why are you doing that? Why are you doing that? I know I'm talking to somebody, but somebody right now, like, they're saying, yup, and you looking right over there like, damn, he's talking about you. Come on, man. And let's flip it. Let's flip it. My kings and queens, if you feel that you are at that stage that you're ready to have that person come into your life that is going to appreciate you and give you what you need, I'm not saying suffer to have or settle because you condone it. Nah, I'm not saying that at all. I'm not. What I'm saying is you're ready to be 100 with yourself. Because guess what? We're talking like-minded. We're talking the laws of attraction here. If you're ready, if you think that you're ready, I'm here to tell you, you're not. The trickery, the manipulation, the control, all those bad habits that you've learned along the way, you've got to take accountability and ask for forgiveness for each deed. Each deed. The worst thing that you can do is invite somebody in your life knowing that your life is not right. Because I'm going to tell you what's going to happen. You're going to hurt yourself even more. Because they ain't going to stick around. Especially if they're spiritually grounded. Because if they're spiritually grounded, guess what? They can see right through you. They can see right through you. So don't do that. Take this year if you need to. You got to be honest with yourself. And fall back in love with who you are. You know that little boy, that little girl that lives in you? Yes. Get back to that person. And I guarantee you, when you decide to do that, you will have a different perception and a different viewpoint on life. Now, as I keep saying, you got some people that it's going to piss you off, that they are going to hate the fact that you're investing in your life. And they're going to try to sabotage it. You're not a glutton for punishment. You're not. Keep your dignity, but remove yourself from that situation. I'm telling you, you got to do it. Now, I will say this. For those that are in that situation where you realize that you're planning an exit strategy, let me tell you something. On that one, if it's done by deception, you're going to pay for it. And you say, why would you say that, Gerald? Because it's not blessed. It's not blessed. So don't do yourself an injustice. Do things correctly above board. And what is meant for you to have, you will have. Now, if you got to close some doors forever, do it. But if you've got to close doors, guess what? The people that love you, the people that only want to see you happy, they're not going to impede that. Because they also know this. Divinely, you have no control over the people that are going to be in your life. You don't. There are certain people that are actually intertwined in your legacy. You're going to see them. You're going to see them, and then you're going to have some that you're going to see, and it's going to serve two things. Number one, is going to validate what you should have done, as well as it's going to let you see what you should not. And what I'm saying is this: you're going to have situations where you're going to have revelations come, and you're going to be like, I'm so glad I'm not with you. If I was with you, that could have been my destiny. Or it may be a place of acceptance and say, well, you know, I'm glad you were in my life. I couldn't understand that at first, but I'm grateful because I can see that you genuinely have my best interest. Because see, the people that truly love you, you do understand when someone gives love, it's priceless. That's the most precious gift because that validates time. It takes 100% effort to be you. You do know that. So if someone gives themselves, they don't do it out of agenda. They don't do it out of manipulation. They don't do it out of control. They won't. And guess what they won't do? They won't put themselves in a position that there's no growth either. They will leave you alone because they realize what it is said, let go, let God. That's why you've probably seen situations of people that you know, and they were here, and then time progressed and they down there, and you're like, wow, that's unfortunate they're going through this. You know, that's your validation of what could have been. But right now you might not realize that because you think that you're being punished. You're not. You're being protected. And everything, you will have a different perspective on that experience. You know, I was having a conversation with someone very dear with me last night, and I told him, I said, you know what? A lot of times when people break up, they say, well, that's a lesson I learned not to do. No. Your life is not a lesson. It's an experience because there's time connected in it. Stop downplaying your life. because you're only going to get one shot at it. So it's very important that you invest in yourself. I know somebody right now said, well, you know what, I done heard that before, I'm going to cut this off. That's cool. That's cool too, but see, I love each and every one of you, and that you deserve to be happy. You deserve to have the life intended, but I can't do the work for you because I'm still working on Gerald Davis, and I already know that my destiny is written and it is blessed, and you guys are going to see it. And you're like, wow, he said that way back when. That's right, because I have a responsibility not only for my legacy and my lineage that comes from me, but also those people that I'm going to connect with in the future. You know, the future self, you in the future is depending that the decisions you make today is going to impact tomorrow. So it's very imperative that you invest in yourself. So don't be afraid. Don't be afraid. People want to walk out your life, let them go. Let them. Open the door if you need to be. No, you ain't got to do all that, but let them. Let them. Because if there ain't no love in it, you ain't missing nothing anyway. Some of y'all are waking up and saying, you know what, I'm tired of sleeping around with all these people that don't love me. They're only taking from my body. I'm tired of, I got to sleep with you so you can pay for that. Good. I'm glad you're waking up, because your role was not to play the role of the Jezebel, the harlot, the side chick, the woman that will never be happy. Because those women, and I love each and every one, but listen, if you don't respect yourself, how do you expect your environment to respect you? Because what you project is what you get back. That's the law of attraction. That's why I've always said from day one, energy out is energy in. That's right. I know a light bulb just went off on somebody. That's right. Because your life is not to be in vain. But keep in mind, everybody that you come in contact with and the people that are connected to you are looking exactly at what you're doing. They might not say it, but they are. So make sure that what you do and how you do it, it represents. It represents. When your name is spoken in association, that a smile always comes with it, because they're proud to know you. Natalie Stewart said it best. For those who do not know who Natalie Stewart, she is one of the members in the group Flourishly. She did her first album. She put a song out called Breathe. If you've never heard the song, go right up here, put Natalie Stewart Breathe. Listen to the lyrics. Listen. But one thing that was very profound, she said, you can't take everybody with you, but they're going to be happy that they got to know you. So basically what she was saying is, the association that you share, that you give, because we got free will, if it's positive, no matter where your life is, no matter where your life is going to take you, they're going to always see you in high regard if it's pure. You don't want to be that person that they think about you like, man, this person was no good, they didn't respect. You don't want to be on that list. You don't. I know somebody saying, well, I don't care, I'm going to keep doing me. Well, guess what? Is it worth the pain that you feel right now? Is it worth the guilt and the shame that you've been carrying? How about those sleepless nights? Huh? What about that? How about that mental state? Is it worth it? No, it's not. So, why won't you love yourself? Love yourself. Because I'm telling you, y'all, when you invest in who you are, unadulteratedly invest in who you are, even if that means you got to stand by yourself, you won't regret it. And you know what will happen? All those people that did not have your best interest will be moved. And people will come into your life when they should. And you guys will have a like-minded connection because they see your worth. They see your value. And they want to see you grow. But you cannot grow from a stolen moment. You cannot see happiness in control or deception. The only thing that grows from that is pain. Don't claim that, y'all. Don't do it. Don't do it. Don't do it. Don't do it. Haven't you noticed everybody that emulates what they see on TV, they're unbalanced? Why do you think they give them all that money? Because they're living the life of a mockery. All those people got mental health issues, every one of them. That's why they drink so much, because they're trying to drink the pain down. They don't want to accept the truth. That's why when you see them on reunion shows, they say, well, when I saw myself, you got to get back to one. You got to. So on that note, I'm going to leave it alone. I hope you guys have a blessed and happy new year. Please be safe. If you're going to go out and celebrate, go out the same way you came back, and hopefully that's protected. Until then, you have a blessed and protected new year. And as I always say, God's praying for you. You know I am. I see your worth. And for that, it helps me discern mine. Oh, one more thing. For those people that are going to make this the year that they're going to go back and live a healthier life, big ups. You're not the only one. I too am going to embrace a more healthier lifestyle, and 2015 will be the year that I'm getting a divorce with my cigarettes. These are going away. And you're going to watch me grow, you're going to watch me blossom, and you're going to watch me step into who I'm destined to be as well. So, on that note, love to hear from you. Like, don't like. But the fact that you got to hear what I had to say, that's all that matters. It's for the intended ear. Stay blessed, y'all. Bye-bye.